All right, so I did a video on the mundane horrors of existence, just questioning the setup and the scenario that nature places all of its creatures within, which is very vicious. And I mean, it's pretty clear. I read a speech or a spiel from Clarence Darrow, who was a early 20th century lawyer, and because basically he was a pessimist towards this people call it creation, the world, nature, these words that we are programmed to attribute these hyper positive meanings to. We're programmed to do this, or we do this naturally too. The mind of a bewildered human animal will do this, like the sunshine, and you see the sparkles, sparkles all over the water, and maybe a butterfly. What are you talking about? Nature is beautiful. A butterfly. If a butterfly grew to 10 feet, you would fucking run. you know, you wouldn't cuddle that butterfly. People are so full of shit. But this nature thing is what people hate to analyze nature truthfully or honestly because you know they don't like the conclusion. This is very interesting when you get into how the human mind works because clearly there's nothing but crime going on in nature. What else is crime? Killing, stealing, exploiting. That's crime, right? Well, that's what goes on in nature every day. Well, no, it's natural. So that's how people like that excuses it. Well, you haven't said anything. You just said that killing, stealing, and exploiting is natural. So, but it's still killing, stealing, and exploiting. You still haven't addressed the problem. Nah, just go on about their day, bunch of fucking assholes. And that's why the world's so fucked up too, because people don't want to address the truth at bottom so they can keep perpetuating this shit. That's really what it comes to. A lot of this stuff we hear is just lies that you tell your baby, a fucking screaming, crying baby, so it'll shut up. Oh, it's all good, Mother Nature. Oh, couldn't be further from the truth because nature is a hell. And I bring this up because there's a lot of people even people who get into gnosis, who argue that, well, nature was at first pure. Okay, nature, that's just a word anyway. I use it, but in this instance, let's be a little more specific. What do you mean by nature was pure? What do you mean? The grass is pure, the water is pure, what? And some people will say, well, not every animal is a carnivore. What about the herbivores? Yeah, the herbivores get eaten by carnivores. So let's imagine this pure nature. The only way you can imagine nature to be pure is if you take out all the creatures. You have to take out all the creatures. But if you take out all the creatures, what use is there for nature? What use is there for the flora? The only way nature can be pure is if no creatures exist in it. But even this isn't true because you have plants and even flowers that fight each other for territory. They literally have battles underneath the soil. They can poison each other. The roots fight each other underneath the soil. So even here you have this a selfish will that is against or at odds with each other. It's trying to overcome each other, even in the plant kingdom. And then you get this manifestation of a Venus flytrap, which basically waits for flies to land and closes its mouth, for lack of a better term, and it eats the fly. It's carnivorous. So yeah, that's killing and stealing. You kill the creature, you steal its energy. Crime. If I go in to a bank and kill the teller and steal the money, that's crime. I go to jail. That's evil. That's bad. That's unjustified. That's immoral. That's unethical. So when we see this in nature, we have to ascribe the same attributes: evil, unethical, immoral. It's that simple to any thinker. So you can't really proclaim that nature is beautiful like these new age optimists and these conscious optimists and these flat earth optimists. Because it's flat. It's a flat hell. Yeah. So it's a flat hell. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But how could it be pure? The only way it could be pure, and like I said, even the plants fight each other. But let's just say, that nature was at once upon a time it was pure. As soon as you introduce these subjective, self-willed creatures, there's no purity to it. If you imagine there's a bunch of herbivores, well, the population will overflow. without this wicked ass food chain that these what are these idiot zoologists, like these men on Discovery Channel who narrate this carnage, the balance. We must not let we must let nature follow its course. Yeah, it's evil fucking course. You just watching this, like, this deer getting mauled alive by a pack of hyenas, and this nature's course balance. You start to see how I mean, it's basically, if you condone that, if you can look at that with equanimity, or if you reach, you actually go and reach for a justification, not only a justification but a divine justification for this, then for I mean, consciously or unconsciously, you are condoning evil. So you're full of shit. Your philosophy is bullshit, which most philosophies on this popular on in the popular world, they're all full of shit, especially the religions, the exoteric distorted religions, because they're telling you that nature was at once pure. How? Imagine this. How? If you say there's just grass, trees, flowers, water, mountains, and flowing streams, and there may be a couple butterflies at one time, and then there was rabbits. They jumped around, they hopped around with no predation going on. Okay, because remember, you have to take out the predation to be pure. So that has to be conceded for anybody claiming this pure nature. Okay, so let's take away predation. Well, who do you have? What do you have now? You just have who? You can't have ants and things either, because their predators are like anteaters and basically catastrophes. Like storms where they get drowned out, and starvation, they die off, droughts, etc. But if there didn't exist anteaters, etc., then the population would overflow, and they would experience a strain and a collapse. So then they wouldn't exist. Same thing with the rabbits. Wolves hunt rabbits or foxes or whatever. So if there's no foxes, the rabbits, the population would overflow, and you have the same thing. They would eat all the grass or all the vegetation, that whatever they eat, and then that would all die out. Then the world would collapse again. See, it doesn't make sense. People just say things. See, when it comes to the most serious topics, people don't even question them. This is why that's why I say humanity is stupid. I know a lot of people are like, "Well, you can't say that. How arrogant of you." No, you are stupid. You're not addressing being in existence still. So you're just really little more than a bewildered human animal who's trying to find out a way to survive and keep dying, basically, which is stupid because you're perpetuating this suffering and death down here. So literally, that's stupid. Who cares what you create, or what new song or what new gadget you come up with? It's fucking stupid, because everybody's still suffering, and we're perpetuating suffering based on this untruthful mind. And these so-called these spiritual people, who go to church and claim that, yeah, the purity's coming back one day and Jesus coming back to clean the world. Jesus cannot clean this fucking dump, this wretched, filthy dump with these evil ass humans and these evil creatures, these selfish creatures. It's not happening. I mean, you wouldn't have, again, you would not have creatures here to have your vision of this purity. You could not have any creature down here, which would basically mean, in your eyes, no life. So then what would be the point? That's paradise, a deserted world. And truthfully, that is paradise. That's the only way you have peace. Because as soon as you introduce these creatures, you have war. Because nutrition is war. And all creatures, like I mentioned in the Flat Earth Brahma's Bubbles video, nutrition is war. All these creatures are built. They are designed. The ideas manifest themselves as deficient, ever deficient creatures who need to seek out and destroy each other for nutrition. This is a wicked design. This is impure. So this natural system, nature, could never be pure. That's just a bullshit fiction. That's people's last leg, because nobody wants to come to the final conclusion that this whole existence is wicked and corrupted. Bottom line, there's no denying it. Even if you're an optimist, you still have to include this truthful, pessimistic look, and then your optimism will become more honest, at least. But at the same time, you still can't deny this intrinsic, malicious, absurd nature. if we just look at the food chain. I mean, this is really a corruption. Like when they teach children the food chain, and we're supposed to just sit here like, oh, cool, yeah, okay, yeah, cool. The fox eats the rabbit, yeah. The eagle swoops down and the vultures whatever swoops down and eats the fox dead carcass. Oh, cool, cool. Oh, let's see. The alligator eats he eats the antelope. Wow, awesome, cool. Like so we talk about the Illuminati. Who sounds like the psychopath? Cool. Did you see that snake eat that rat? Man, that is awesome. Think about it. Who's really the fucking psychopath? Well, you throw tomatoes at Trump every day. And I'm just going this deep to say, see, it's really hypocritical. It's bullshit. This is why nothing's gonna change because the human mind is untruthful. At bottom, bunch of untruthful, bewildered human animals. Beggars dreaming they are kings. So no, nature was never pure. It can't be pure. The truth is, like Manny said, this is a fallen material realm, and it's from its inception. It is, for lack of a better term, evil. And I know a lot of people think the word evil is a stretch or it sounds too religious, but the bottom line is, like I said, anything that inflicts suffering and endures suffering is evil. Just the horrors of nature and mankind is enough for any honest mind to say this place is evil, it's unjustified, it can never be pure, it's a corruption, and this is, for lack of a better term, hell. Peace.